My name is Rod Joy. I was born and raised in the People's Republic of Evanston, Illinois. Evanston is really a community that celebrates all, is accessible to all. It's a very diverse community. I had an opportunity to really experience a lot of different arts and cultural opportunities. I went to ETHS. I was the captain of the football team. That's a well-kept secret. Growing up, my earliest memories, not of the arts, but just my earliest memories, period, were of my father creating wonderful works of art with his bare hands. And so I tried to replicate him every chance I got. I have a big family, but I come from a family that really understands and appreciates and celebrates culture and the arts. We have 3 boys. Our youngest son just turned 10 years old. Our middle son is 15 years old. Our oldest son is 21 years old. We have a 21st century marriage and family where we have mine, hers, and ours. But we have a very loving family.
So one of the biggest influences on my life was my grandmother. And one of the things that I loved about her was her commitment to faith and community. And it was her inspiration that really got me into philanthropy. I got started when I took my first trip out of the country. I had the opportunity to go to the United Nations Subcommission on the Prevention of Discrimination and Protection of Minorities. And it was in Geneva, Switzerland, and I saw African people speaking French. Never had that experience before. I met people from all over the world that deeply touched me with this passion for their cause to such an extent that they would give their life for it. And that struck me in terms of the power of nonprofit leaders who were willing to make a change in their community and sacrifice anything for their community. And so I now dedicate my life to them. I'm the president of S&P Strategies, and I founded this consultancy to really strengthen the quality of life of our communities by strengthening nonprofit organizations. And so many nonprofits are doing incredible work every day on the front lines, changing their communities. But they struggle with things like fundraising, building a board, figuring out a way to be sustainable, not having to kind of worry about ending the year in the black.
While I have a background in the arts, my professional experience is in policy and politics. So prior to joining Arts Alliance Illinois, I served as a senior staffer for one of the more progressive members of Congress in Chicago, Jan Schakowsky, who represents the 9th Congressional District. I liken my experience with Jan Schakowsky. It's kind of like wanting to learn Kung Fu and having a chance to study with Bruce Lee. What I take from that experience is every voice matters. And as opposed to sitting on the sidelines, there's a lot of value in rolling up your sleeves and leaning in. I serve as executive director of Arts Alliance Illinois. We're a statewide arts advocacy and service organization. Our primary charge is to elevate the presence and importance of culture and the arts in Illinois, and to really raise awareness about the contributions that artists and cultural organizations make to the social, economic, and educational vitality of Illinois. So at the end of the day, our charge is to really champion culture and the arts as a civic priority. I think it's penny wise and pound foolish. It's like cutting off your nose to spite your face. I think we're fortunate to live in a city and in a state where many policymakers understand, appreciate, and support culture and the arts. We have a mayor who really embraces culture as part of his brand. We live, quite frankly, in a city that in the last few years has not only unveiled a bold and ambitious cultural plan, but a plan for the arts in our public schools, a cultural tourism strategy for Choose Chicago. Cities that thrive, cities that are vibrant, are cities that celebrate artists and the arts. Chicago is internationally recognized as a global center for the arts, on par with London, Paris, and New York. My goal is to make sure that our small and mid-sized organizations are also celebrated, that it's a both and. So in addition to spectacular events and epic institutions, that we also lift up our ethnic museums, our neighborhood cultural centers, and our historical sites.
I think that we're getting this award because we authentically enjoy arts and culture and live it day to day in our lives, that it's part of who we are, it's part of our fabric, And it's really exciting to be able to celebrate that with an organization like the Chicago Cultural Alliance, because not only do they represent the organizations on the ground doing the work in an area and field that we love, they also are an advocacy organization that's ensuring the vitality of the entire field.
We both care deeply about culture. We also believe deeply in the core American value of equal opportunity for all, and everybody deserves a fair shot. That people who care and love their community have the power to change it for the better. And that change comes from the bottom up and from the grassroots. And I think those are things that are really embraced by the Cultural Alliance. This notion of culture and neighborhoods and civic engagement, those are things that we deeply value.